Hello and welcome to Courtside with the Ashland University women's basketball team, brought to you by the Ashland University Journalism and Digital Media Department. I'm Miles Irvin, and today I'm joined by head coach Kari Pickens. Coach, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
To get things started, you guys picked up a couple big victories last week against Hillsdale and Lake Erie. And that Hillsdale game was certainly a big one with the Chargers neck and neck with you guys in the conference standings. How do you think your team responded in that game?
I was really pleased all weekend with our defensive intensity, with our rebounding. Offensively, there were definitely some things I think we could have done a lot better, but I don't think it was a lack of execution per se. It was just sometimes the shots don't go in, but I do think that on the defensive end and on the rebounding end, we dominated both games really well.
On the rebounding edge, got to talk about Hayley Smith. We'll have her on later. And she was fantastic in that game, grabbing a career-high 19 rebounds. What do you have to say about just her performances this season?
Hayley, coming in, had really high expectations for herself, and so I'm not surprised by the performances that she's had this season because she's worked really hard to get here. With that being said, I am so pleased as a coach to be able to have someone out on the court who you can just always trust to be able to get the big stop, to be able to get the big board, to get the big finish, all of those things. I have that in Hayley, and not every coach does. And so I'm really thankful for her leadership in so many different ways. But on the rebounding end, it has completely set herself apart as a player. There's a lot of parts to the games, but if you can have someone on the floor who can get you extra possessions, who can finish every play, you're going to set yourself apart as a team.
And then offensively, Zoey Miller has been great as well. She's led you guys in scoring for the last 7 games. What has changed for her throughout the course of the season up to this point?
I think Zoey just had a little bit of a switch in her mind of confidence that has really given her a freedom to go out and play fearlessly. I think early on there were such high expectations for her. She was a returning All-American, a lot of different accolades from the previous season, and with Annie Roshak having graduated, I'm sure for her she wanted to be able to step up into different roles, and with that comes a little bit of nerves. I think she really worked through that. She rose above a lot of different challenges and has been playing really well here in recent weeks.
Absolutely, and you guys are getting it done as a team for sure as well. In that Lake Erie game, you had 5 players score in double figures. What is the key to getting that kind of production from up and down the roster?
Yeah, I think that that's something that should be a huge strength of our team is the versatility of scoring. You look at some teams, I give ODU, for example, their top 3 players who we're about to face this week, they score 2/3 of their team's points. 3 players score. And for us, we want to be able to have a variety of scores so that people can't key in on just 1 or 2 players. They have to be able to guard all 5 players who step onto the court no matter what rotation we're in.
You guys have now won 12 games in a row, really playing well on both ends. Where do you feel the team is at right now with about a month to go left in the regular season?
I'm really excited with where we're at right now. I would say all season defensively our defense has been what set us apart. I think we've only let teams score in the 60s maybe 4 times all year, maybe 5. And that's been really impressive to hold teams to 50 points a game. Rebounding, same. I think that our rebounding has really picked up. And that next piece for us is, I think, offensively. We've had a couple of games where we've had some really good pieces come together, but this last month I just really want to see confidence out of our players, knowing that they know the system, they know how to play it together now. And I personally believe that our best basketball is up ahead after this next month of ball.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, it was great to sit down with you. Thank you so much. We will soon be joined by senior forward Hayley Smith to discuss her terrific season. But for now, it's time for us to take a quick break. We'll be right back. You're watching Courtside on AUTV. Welcome back to Courtside right here on AUTV. I'm now pleased to be joined by senior forward Hayley Smith. Hayley, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
First things first, what was your mindset coming into your senior season here at Ashland?
My mindset, I wanted to dominate, honestly, in the GMAC and in the nation. Playing for Ashland, you're playing with the best people, and so I've been super prepared over the last couple years to do that, and so I'm thankful to continue to pursue that. And then also, I just wanted to have a ton of fun. Playing for Ashland is a huge gift, and it's really special, and so I'm trying to stay super present and enjoy the last couple months left.
And you have certainly been dominant, averaging a double-double, one of the best rebounders in the nation. What goes into those type of numbers in the season and the overall career that you've had here with the Eagles?
Oh gosh, it's definitely been like a learning curve for me. Coming in, I wasn't super confident, and I feel like every year I've gained confidence. And so that's been the biggest thing for me. I've been blessed to have the athleticism that I've had, and so everything for me has been mental. And so over the last couple years, I've just gained a bunch of experience and confidence, and so that was kind of the reason behind that, I would say. Yeah,
it's definitely showed on the court. As for your team, what have you seen on the floor that's allowed you guys to thrive as a unit?
I would for sure say our defense. At my time at Ashland, this has been probably our best defensive year so far, and so that's been huge for us, and so I think that that's kind of fueled our wins and definitely our offense as well.
And then finally, you guys on a 12-game winning streak. How can you carry that type of play from the last several weeks over to this final month of the regular season and into the postseason?
This last month for us is huge. I mean, we're playing some of the best teams in our conference, and so just focusing on us, and that's what we've been doing for the last couple weeks, and I think that that's helped us improve on both ends of the court. And so we're just continuing to take each game at a time, not looking too far ahead, but at the same time, like, we want to win the GMAC and then, of course, pursue a national championship. So.
Absolutely. Well, Hayley, thank you so much for coming on the show, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Coming up next, Coach Kari Pickens will return to close out the show, so don't go anywhere. You're watching Courtside right here on AUTV. Welcome back to Courtside right here on AUTV. Coach, it's time for the final segment of today's show. Before we dive into the upcoming schedule, let's take a look at the current standings for the Great Midwest Athletic Conference. With you guys on a 12-game winning streak, your team has risen near the top of the conference. You guys will face #1 Malone in about a week's time. What is the mindset for your team to try and get that #1 spot for tournament play?
Yeah, throughout the whole year, we've definitely had a goal to win the GMAC. I don't think, however, that you can have always the end goal pressing in your mind. It very much has to be, we have this game that's right in front of us, and let's take care of this game and then get prepped for the next one.
And this Thursday, you guys will travel to Columbus to take on the Ohio Dominican Panthers. What are some things you'll be looking for in that matchup?
ODU is a really talented team. They actually remind me a lot of Northwood, who handed us our only GMAC loss so far this season. They have 3 very talented scorers, and then some other really good role players around them. But they've upset some really good teams. They've lost to some not as good teams. So we have to be able to go down there on their home court and throw the first punch and keep rolling, because they're a team that can upset anyone.
And after Ohio Dominican, you guys will take on Thomas More, which also happens to be Senior Day coming up this Saturday at Cates Gymnasium. What are you most looking forward to about Senior Day?
This group of 5 has been really, really special. Obviously, Lydia came in as a 1-year grad, but she's been such a blessing to have on our team. So excited to celebrate her. And then the other 4 players have been just 4- and 5-year players who have poured so much into this program. honestly, you see the blood, sweat, and tears through all of them for the entirety of their career, their commitment to Ashland, their commitment and belief to what they signed up for when they first came here. So I'm really excited to just celebrate that group. They're very talented. We'll definitely miss all 5 of them in different capacities upon graduation, but my hope is that we have a lot of season left with them.
Absolutely. And then lastly, what do you hope to see from the fans on Saturday for that game against Thomas More?
It's our last home Saturday game, I believe, of the season, which is crazy to think about. So my hope is that it's a packed house, everyone come. Popcorn's going to be popping, lots of things to do and eat, and a great basketball team to cheer on. So my hope is everyone comes out to celebrate this group.
Absolutely. It's going to be super exciting. Coach, thank you so much for joining me, and good luck.
Thank you.
As a reminder, be sure to tune in to 88.9 WRDL for full live game coverage of Ashland University versus the Ohio Dominican Panthers on Thursday, January 30th, with tip-off set for 5:30 p.m., as well as this Saturday afternoon at 1 p.m. when the Eagles host the Thomas More Saints. I'm Miles Irvin saying thank you so much for tuning into Courtside right here on AUTV.